All right.
All right, folks, this is 5 quick questions with James Reynolds, who plays Abe on Days for Our Lives. James, are you ready?
I am ready.
These are 5 questions I've actually always wanted to ask you. I just quick ones I
Oh,
never asked you before.
well, good. That's always good.
Number one,
Uh-huh.
does Abe have a middle name?
Yes, he does. And I know it. I don't know it at the moment. But
I know. I know. Sometimes I'm like, I know he's Abraham Carver. I
no,
know
he does. He absolutely does. I have it. I have Abe's bio on my computer. I should look for it, but I might hit the wrong button.
that's hilarious.
And
Okay, so he has one
Abe
for us.
does have. I want to say it's something like Aurelius or something like that, but it's not. That would probably be Roman's middle name.
Exactly. I was saying exactly. Really, I don't really. It's so funny. I guess I was thinking, does Abe have a middle name? I'm just not sure. I don't.
Yes, he does have a middle name, and I will either text or email the
Okay.
middle name as soon
Yeah,
as I
find
look
out.
it up.
Number two, I really wanted to ask this question. It's so funny. Who do you
Uh,
think is Abe's best friend, John or Roman?
that's an excellent question. That is an excellent question, and it's one that I have wondered about. And I think it's a natural question that people think about in life. Not intimately knowing who your circle of friends are, but I bet you have two or three or four friends that you could call your best friend
Yes.
at a specific time.
Yeah.
And sometimes, I've had people call me their best friends, and I'm kind of going, really? Uh,
Me too. Like, oh, I am. Okay.
oh
Sure.
my
Okay.
goodness, I
Great.
had no idea. So it's an excellent question. It really is. Right now I would say they're 1A and 1B.
Yeah. Well, because there's a question we asked that because of the history of Roman. I'll put it in air
Yes,
quotes.
right,
So,
right.
and they both
Yes,
call you Abraham. They both are
they
into
do.
it. They both are like, it's like you were. I mean, naturally, you might want to say it's. I might say it's Roman, is because he came first.
Yes,
John
and they
thought
grew
he
up. They
was
grew up together, more or less.
right, but
But
at
then
this
John
point,
Black was Roman for a while. So
right. But at this point, you and John also had a relationship, became friends. So
exactly.
it's like, yeah. So it's a one of those weird things. I always want to ask you that. Okay,
Yeah, we
number
had a very strong and have a very strong, both of them, we have a very strong relationship.
you do.
And when Bo was around, you could have thrown Bo in there to some degree
I
as
was, yeah,
well.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
Bo too, but I thought I
exactly.
was like with
Yeah.
these two, just because they both have this, they have their complicated history. Abe
Yes.
was always around
Yes.
that whole time from them. Number three,
Mhm.
my Emmy is in my.
The Emmy actually sometimes is mobile. Uh,
It goes on tour. It goes on tour. It's over here.
yes, it's in my living room. It was in my office. As you can tell, I have my background blurred
Yeah, yeah,
because it's a mess.
yeah.
But it is a mess. We've been doing some home remodeling,
Okay.
and my office has become storage place number one.
Oh yes.
And it's a mess. But right now it's in the living room. It usually lives in the living room, which is appropriate. But sometimes it's here behind me, but it's not today.
Like that. Number four, I love her to death. My wife Lisa is my.
World. She is just everything. She is w- certainly in the top three of the best people in the world. I don't know who the others are. The other two people
She's
are.
one of them. We don't know who the other people are,
She's
but
one of
she's
those three. Yes, absolutely.
one. I know we love Lisa. Hi Lisa, I love her. And last, I asked this of everybody when I do these things: apples or oranges?
Apples. No question about it. No, apples are I just love apples. And there's so many different kind of apples these days. When I grew up, you pretty much had red delicious apples. Now, I don't know if that's where I grew up, which is very possible because we
Yeah,
had limited supplies, even though we were in the middle of farm country. But the cities have more. Cities, interestingly enough, have a larger choice of food. And then you come to a place like California, which grows so much in such a different variety. I never had an artichoke until I was, had left home, almost grown up. And I mean, there are all kinds of foods that I just never had. I never had a fresh shrimp until I was joined the Marine Corps. You find the world is wide, and there's a lot to experience out there. And I've been very lucky that I've been put in a position that I've been able to, certainly on the food place.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Been able to broaden it out, and I mean, there's some foods I won't try, but not too many.
yeah. I know I have friends who like I because my parents in Louisiana and from the Caribbean. I grew up with seafood. It was a
Oh, well, see,
natural
those are
thing.
two great places to eat.
Yeah, yes, they are. They are. They are. Oh, they really are, folks. They really
Yes,
are. But I have friends who never had seafood until they were grown or went somewhere to visit like that. They were like,
yes,
we didn't have in our house. It was like meat potatoes. Our house it was maybe pork. Maybe
yep.
I was she didn't have pork growing up. So I didn't have pork growing up. That was something different. We
Oh,
had
we had
beef.
pork. We had pork.
So it's kind of weird where you grow. It's funny where you grow up.
Yeah.
You're right where what you get. And so yeah, it's like I grew up in places where you can actually I had everything basically, and I had
Yes.
green apples and my Granny Smiths and all that stuff. I had that. I lucked out. I got that stuff. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and in the Caribbean, I'm sure you could walk out in your backyard and pick, papayas or all kinds of different wonderful things. And of course, New Orleans, the
Oh,
food in New Orleans is not so much about food growing there, although food does grow in Louisiana, but it's about the preparation, how it's made.
got it. And that's 5 quick questions to James Reynolds. Thank you, James. I'm James Lott Jr. See you next time.
Okay.